What country has the best healthcare system in the world? I think that Japan has the best healthcare system in the world. Japan has a universal and egalitarian healthcare system that provides world-class medical services to everyone, including those with serious illnesses, at affordable costs. This affordability is due to strict government regulations on medical fees. Depending on the income and the age of the insured, patients are required to pay 10%, 20%, or 30% of medical fees, with the government paying the remaining fee. Low-income households on welfare are exempt from payment of medical fees. What makes organ transplants so controversial? I think that there are two major factors in making this issue so controversial. The first factor is lack of national consensus about the definition of death. Although brain death is defined as human death under the organ transplant law, many people are still reluctant to accept brain death as death. The second factor is a likely degradation of the human body and human dignity. Organ transplants will encourage organ trafficking, thus commodifying human bodies. They will also trample on human dignity by damaging the dead bodies. What are the causes of mental illnesses? I think that there are several causes of mental illnesses. First, traumatic, life-threatening experiences such as natural disasters and death of one's beloved family members or friends cause tremendous mental suffering or emotional disorders. Second, business restructuring or bankruptcy due to economic recession has a devastating impact on mental conditions of company employees and self-employed people. Third, failures in job hunting and college admission can cause mental depression. Fourth, lack of social support for women taking care of their children and sick elderly parents isolates them from society, thus negatively affecting their mental health. Should smoking be banned in public places? Yes, I think so for 3 reasons. First, banning smoking in public places can protect non-smokers from harmful side-stream smoke. Since side-stream smoke contains more harmful substances such as carcinogens, tar, and nicotine than mainstream smoke, banning smoking in public places is a great blessing to passive smokers. Second, it can decrease environmental and fire hazards caused by cigarette littering and smoke. Imposing a fine on smoking in public places while smoking on the street will reduce littering, air pollution, and outbreak of fire. Third, it saves the government budget for creating designated areas for smoking.
Do the benefits of genetic engineering outweigh the dangers? Yes, I think so for 2 reasons. Firstly, genetic engineering can alleviate world hunger by producing genetically modified foods. These GM foods are more resistant to disease, harmful insects, and harsh weather. They also have a much longer shelf life than ordinary crops and will provide stable food crops. Secondly, genetic engineering will cure intractable and incurable diseases such as diabetes, cancer, Alzheimer's, or AIDS. Some people point out ethical problems with genetic manipulation and its great health risks, such as causing allergies and leukemia. But I believe that the benefits far outweigh the disadvantages. Has technology changed education for the better? Yes, I think so for 3 reasons. Firstly, teachers now use interactive multimedia technology to enhance students' learning effectiveness. For example, audiovisual images or games make their lessons more engaging and entertaining to students. Secondly, students can develop research skills effectively because they can have easy access to a wealth of information on the Internet. Lastly, e-learning gives people more opportunities to study at much more reasonable costs regardless of their geographical locations.
What is the future of robots in daily life? I think that numerous kinds of robots will come into wide use in the future and change our daily life for the better. For example, domestic robots such as cleaning or nursing care robots will reduce the burden of housework and care for bedridden elderly people. Another type of robot in great future demand is a robot suit. They can enhance the physical abilities of infirm, elderly, or physically disabled people and thus bring great mobility to those people. In the field of medicine, robot-assisted surgery and capsule endoscopy will relieve the burden of doctors and patients in medical diagnosis and treatment. Will the use of solar energy become widespread in the future? Yes, I think so for two reasons. Firstly, solar power will serve as a viable alternative to fossil fuels that emit CO2, a major culprit of global warming. Solar power is clean and environmentally friendly energy. Secondly, solar power is renewable energy which can solve the problem of exhaustion of natural resources. It has the potential to meet the growing demand of green energy.
How should companies and individuals make efforts to protect the environment? I think that large companies can take the initiative in promoting energy saving and tackling environmental degradation. They have the responsibility of complying with strict regulations on industrial waste. They can play a major role in raising public awareness about the importance of environmental protection by producing eco-friendly products like electric cars. As for individuals, it is important to practice the so-called 3 Rs: reducing, reusing, recycling. For example, we can carry an eco bag for shopping, reuse office paper, refuse excessive wrapping, and separate burnable and non-burnable garbage to facilitate recycling. Do the benefits of daylight saving time outweigh the disadvantages? Yes, I think so for 3 reasons. Firstly, daylight saving time will save electricity consumption by making people use more natural daylight. Secondly, daylight saving time will bring economic benefits to society by encouraging people to stay out longer and spend more money on after-work activities, such as shopping and eating out. Finally, daylight saving time will reduce the incidence of crime and traffic accidents, which are more likely to occur in the evening. Although some people point out disadvantages, such as its high implementation costs and health problems caused by maladaptation to circadian rhythm, I think that those environmental and socio-economic benefits outweigh the investment costs and debatable health disadvantages.
Is the extinction of some plant and animal species inevitable? If so, how is it possible to protect them from extinction? I think that it is inevitable, considering the increasing ecological damage due to habitat loss through human invasion and industrialization, as well as illegal smuggling and poaching. There are several countermeasures for these problems. Firstly, it is necessary to crack down on smuggling and poaching of endangered species. Secondly, the government should create more sanctuaries for endangered species to maintain biological diversity. Environmental degradation will undermine the entire ecosystem and disturb the food chain. Finally, the government should promote more ecotourism to raise people's awareness about the importance of nature preservation. How serious are current environmental problems? According to the latest research and reports, global warming is becoming increasingly serious and making a devastating impact on the global environment. For example, temperatures in the Northern Hemisphere will rise by 4.3 degrees by 2100, which will increase the pace at which global sea levels rise and will devastate many coastal areas in the world. Massive deforestation and industrial development are also exacerbating global desertification. In fact, it is estimated that 25% of birds and plants in the tropics will die out in 30 years. Water shortage problems are also becoming more and more serious. It is estimated that 2/3 of the world will lose access to clean drinking water by 2025.
Is multiculturalism beneficial to society? Yes, I think so for several reasons. Firstly, multiculturalism boosts the economy through overseas investment and increased job opportunity. Secondly, multiculturalism promotes cultural diversity due to the influx of different cultures, including languages and religions. Thirdly, it makes people more tolerant and open-minded toward each other as cross-cultural interactions broaden people's horizons and help them embrace cultural differences. Finally, multiculturalism makes people's life more stimulating through a variety of lifestyles and new cultures. Local people can enjoy a wider variety of products through multiculturalism. Is religion necessary for society? Yes, I think so for two reasons. Firstly, religion can play an important role in inspiring people and alleviating their mental suffering. Religion can give people hope and consolation, as well as confidence and courage, even during tough times. Secondly, religion contributes to social cohesion and stability. It is because religion helps create a community where people can develop a sense of solidarity by sharing common values and activities. It also offers people a set of moral values and principles to live by, thus contributing to social stability.
Is Japan making enough efforts to preserve its cultural heritage? No, I don't think so. It is because the government has not been providing enough support to the protection of cultural heritage. For example, the budget allocated for the preservation of cultural assets is only 0.1% out of the total national budget, which is extremely low compared with other countries. The government has also decreased the budget for renovation of historical structures and human resource development to preserve traditional handicrafts. Many time-honored businesses in the traditional craft industry are going bankrupt due to an acute shortage of successors for their traditional craft work. Does art make an essential contribution to society? Yes, I think so for several reasons. Firstly, art boosts the economy. Hollywood movie production, music concerts, and auctions for paintings will bring in huge profits and increase job opportunities. Secondly, art greatly enhances the quality of life. Movies, concerts, art museums will bring great joy and excitement to our life. Thirdly, art promotes mutual understanding between people with different languages and values because of its universal value that transcends national boundaries. Lastly, art preserves the cultural legacies of humankind. Art museums and exhibitions, as well as cultural heritage sites, preserve numerous artifacts created by great artists. Does the benefit of the Internet outweigh its disadvantages? Yes, I think so for three reasons. Firstly, the Internet is a great source of information, which allows people to find various kinds of information in a matter of seconds. Secondly, the Internet expands business opportunities in the world through e-commerce, online advertising, and social networking services. Thirdly, the Internet will broaden educational opportunities. People living in remote areas can gain access to higher education through e-learning. Although some people point out the disadvantages of the Internet, such as cybercrime, harmful websites for the adolescents, misleading online advertisements, I think that the benefits far outweigh the disadvantages. Does individual privacy outweigh the public's right to know? I think that the public's right to know outweighs individual privacy, especially in the case of media coverage of criminal investigations that affect public interests and safety. People have the right to know the truth about political corruption and dangerous crimes, including homicide. When it comes to celebrities' privacy, I think that the public's right to know takes precedence over their privacy because they usually capitalize on the media to get enormous publicity and make a huge income. They should more or less pay the price of fame by sacrificing their privacy. Should playing online games be discouraged? Yes, I think so for two reasons. Firstly, online games are addictive enough to deprive people of their valuable time to spend on more productive activities such as study and exercise. Especially, Children tend to become compulsive players, which leads to a serious decline in their academic performance. Secondly, online games can undermine players' health by increasing their sedentary behavior and exposure to computer screens. They often cause eye strain, a bad posture, sleep deprivation, and sometimes even metabolic syndrome.
Do the advantages of advertising outweigh its disadvantages? Yes, I think so for 3 reasons. Firstly, advertisement boosts the economy by stimulating consumption. Companies can increase their sales by enhancing their corporate image and expanding their consumer base. Secondly, advertisement finances entertainment such as TV programs and athletic events. Without advertising, it is very difficult to create TV programs or hold athletic events. Thirdly, advertisement facilitates consumers' product choices and purchases by allowing them to comparison shop. I think these advantages of advertising far outweigh disadvantages, such as misleading information and impulsive and unnecessary buying that many people are concerned about. How objective or biased is current news coverage in the world? I think that current news coverage in the world is biased for the following 3 reasons. Firstly, the media often supports particular political parties, candidates, or ideologies. Media companies and reporters are also biased for or against a particular race, age, religion, or gender. Secondly, media companies' sensationalism to increase audience ratings and readership will rule out objective coverage of events. Thirdly, government censorship of media coverage creates a bias among their citizens, which often happens in many countries. In countries like North Korea and China, the government often tries to control the media through overt and covert press censorship.